All right, without further ado, give it up for your host, Dannie Kelly.
All right, hey sis. Hey. Welcome to the Time for Her show. I'm your host, Dannie C. Kelly. Yeah. You guys are in for an amazing show today. Today's show is brought to you by Dreamwear, a nonprofit organization that focuses on wellness and specifically for the Houston area for those communities that are impacted with low income and challenges. You can learn more about Dreamwear at dreamwear.org. So this month, I really had the opportunity to do something transformative, and every single day for 30 days, I spoke words of affirmation over myself. And if you don't know what that is, affirmations are things that start with I am, and then it's something positive about yourself, right? So you can say things like I am loved, I am graced, I am strong. And let me tell you, what it did for my mind absolutely changed even how I saw life. It changed how I interacted with others. It changed my gratitude. And so I want to start today's show with an affirmation, and I want to invite you to repeat after me. If you can take a moment and just take a deep breath in, breathe out, and now repeat after me. I am grateful. I am powerful. I am worthy. I am strong. I am loved. Now take that in. Sit with that for a moment. And I want you to just know that nobody had to tell you that. Nobody had to co-sign that. Nobody had to double tap that to make it true. What made it true is that you said it. And most importantly, God said it about you. Right. So ladies, I'm excited because it's that type of attitude, it's that type of warmth that we're starting today's show. You know, it's good to have people in your lives to tell you that you're good, but it starts with us first. We're going to start today's show with making sure that we have the right people that remind us to speak well about ourselves. Right after this break, I'm going to bring to you our first guest. Welcome back. Hey, sis. Hey. Please help me welcome Carley Jones Auguste to the stage. Hi, friend. I am so excited to have Carley on the stage with us. And let me tell you, Carley is one of those people that when you meet her, you don't have to just know her for so long, but she's one of those people that just knows your soul. You know what I mean? Like, she sees into your soul, and you could be smiling, and you know how people say, how you doing? And you're like, oh, fine, I'm just whatever. Carley is like, okay, but how you really doing? And I met Carley like that on set somewhere else. And let me tell you, we have just been able to continue to stay connected, and it's birthing into what is looking like a beautiful friendship. And so Carley, tell me, like, how did you develop this confidence to be able to just connect with people on a deeper level than just the surface? Hey, girl.
Truly, first of all, thank you for having me.
Of course, girl.
So glad to be here. Truly, it's the Holy Spirit, because it wasn't something that I had to be taught. It was something that I think growing up in a pastor's home, you learned really quickly to kind of read between the lines for people. There's a story that my older sister has of me being 4 years old and going through the crowd in Sunday school greeting the children. Good morning.
Good morning. How you
Thank
doing?
you for being here. 4. And then I remember being a teenager, and I remember arguing with a grown man, which you probably shouldn't do. But I argued with him on whether or not you could have more than one best friend. And as a teenager, you couldn't tell me otherwise. Yeah. And if I'm honest with you, as a grown woman, I don't know if you can tell me otherwise. And yes, there are people in your life that are for seasons and for certain maybe circumstances, but I will probably argue again that I am more fulfilled than that individual because of the people that I have around me.
Wow. Hold on. Wait, you said a lot. You took us fast.
Okay,
Carley.
I'm sorry.
You took us from 4 to grown.
I'm so sorry. I did. But I needed you to know like how I got here.
Yeah. So tell me about that. So the 4-year-old you, I mean, I see kids all the time that are just lovable, they're outgoing, but how did you keep that, even though relationships, I can imagine, didn't always work out? Because I hear you saying, like, I was a little feisty about telling you where I can have a best friend. So how did you maintain the ability to still want to connect with people, to still see people, to still love them, and not say, like, ooh, I've been hurt, I've been burned. It's no longer hi. Right. It's just, let me observe you from afar.
I think, so I was single for all of my 20s. And usually in your 20s, women are getting married, having children. And I had such great relationships with those friends that then transitioned in season. And I knew it was important to me that I maintain those friendships. So it took effort from me to not require them to stay what they were before they got married or to stay what they were before they became a mom. Now, I wasn't a wife and I wasn't a mom, so I couldn't change myself either or my current circumstance. But it was that grace of knowing, okay, we can't like just literally pick up on a Friday night and do what we want like we normally did because your life changed. And I want to honor that. I want to honor that your husband is now going to be my friend because I'm not going to require anything different from you or, well, I should say I did require something different. But what I mean is it's important to me that he is important to you or even some of my male friends, especially the male friendships, she's important to you. I'm going to make sure that we have a relationship as well. I'm going to tell you happy birthday.
Carley, that's so unique. It's so unique because I think oftentimes we can go into relationships very selfish. Like if we're being honest, like what can I get out of it? Yeah, I'm gonna give something, but I need something. How did you develop this perspective of almost like there's a grace? Where did that come from at 20? Because I can't say I was gracious at 20. I can say that I was needy, right? But at 20, how did you say like, wow, there's grace for this. I want to be able to, you know, still allow this person the nuances and the spaces to evolve.
I have several friendships that are generational, and then I have some that started in certain seasons. So one of my best friends, closest friends, was my roommate in college. And I believe that the Lord ordained that relationship because she was a senior and I was a freshman. And I, through a crazy amount of events, got roomed with her. And so I was connected with her and we've been connected ever since. Love it. And then I have connections, like I said, that have been generational. So there's a value proposition there of somebody older than us saw that there was something here. And this DNA, this legacy has come down into where we are. So I want to be able to continue that. Yeah. And then I think of maybe even meeting you or meeting other people, because I'm not like that no new friends girl. Okay. I'm great with new friends. Okay. I am.
I mean, obviously.
But there's tenure. There's tenure in some locations of, you know, relationship, and then there's newness as well. And just to be able to jump in and already have a future generational acceptance of what that is.
So let me
in a relationship, yes.
Carley, have you been burned? Like, have you had a relationship where it's like, it just didn't work out? It just didn't, because, you know, I feel like your perspective is so pure. And it's so beautiful that I don't even hear pain in it.
Well, that's where the enemy will come in, because whenever I have been burned, it has been for some of the same reasons. And then I'm thinking, okay, well, then I must be the common denominator. I must be this trash friend that each of you have continued to say about me. And then the enemy will tell you, none of your relationships are true. None of them actually value you.
Yeah.
They all just put up with you.
Yeah. Oh, it's the put up with.
Put up.
Yeah.
And I will say,
Or using. 'Cause
there
you're
is
PK, so.
there is and people have that perspective, and I'm like, I'm so blind to that. I'm like, there's no way that anybody would do that.
Wow.
Because never mind, that's a different conversation for a different day. That's not even about friendship. But the relationships that have been burned, some of those bridges are have not been fixed. Yeah. And some of them, if they were to walk in here today, I would greet them. I would say hello. We would be able to have some sort of conversation. Yeah. But it took me and the friendships that I do have, and them kind of holding up the mirror and reminding me of the value that I bring to a relationship, so that would be louder than the inner critic that I have that tells me that I'm not doing enough.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about this inner critic.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Because sometimes we're the ones that burn. Okay, like everybody can't be. Yeah, somebody's doing the burning. Like, yeah. Like sometimes. Sure. So how do we not allow the inner critic to just say, "Oh, I'm just like I missed it in this. I'm gonna miss it over and over again," or I need to stay away because I continue to miss it. Tell me, how did you shut that inner critic down? Because when I met you, I get the 4-year-old, nice to meet you. I don't get the inward negative talk. So how did you shut that down?
That is your relationship with your Heavenly Father and you learning your healthy traits.
And I love the way you started it. You said, it has to do with your personal relationship and what he says about you.
If I'm unhealthy, we will never have a healthy relationship.
Wow.
If I'm stressed, how in the world, and you maybe don't know that I'm stressed, but you just know, well, I haven't reached out and I haven't checked on you. And phones work both ways. Yes. We know this. Phones work both ways. Yeah. But if I know that I'm not healthy, and then there's not knowing you're healthy, but then there's not even knowing that there's health to be concerned about. So there's like, I can know I'm not well and say, friend, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Now's not a good time. Yeah. Or there's times where I don't even have the words to be able to give that to you, to be able to tell you where I am.
Yeah. So first of all, now you got me thinking like, I need a list of what my healthy traits are. Cause girl, like, you know what I mean? Like I can kind of think about them, but I want to know them. Like I want to know like, Dannie, when you good, this is how you show up. But I want to know, for the person who is feeling like, I know what I look like healthy and I'm not healthy, what do I do so that I don't lose my relationship?
But truly, just knowing that you have a safe space. So I've had some relationships where maybe you're having to define a boundary and you may be nervous to define that boundary because that person, you're afraid of how they're going to respond to it. Maybe they're very manipulative and they may gaslight you. Yeah. Maybe they are very critical. And so now you're going to feel like if I do this, they're going to just tear me down further. Yeah. You have to decide, and I've said this a few times, but the value proposition, you have to decide, are we both putting in enough equity? It may not be equal. Yeah. Those friends that are wives and moms and business professionals, it may not be an equal amount. Yeah. But is it equitable for the both of us? Yeah. And if you can't, then maybe it's time to have a discussion of taking a step back. Yeah. And maybe redefining that for each other.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right, sis, I have enjoyed our time today. I really want to know, what have you learned most about yourself as it relates to friendship?
I have learned that I can do hard things. I mentioned different seasons people go into: college, career, wifehood, motherhood, grief, loss, sickness, death. I have gone through all of that. And what I've learned is that whenever my friend received, and it's friends actually, when my friends have received a cancer diagnosis, I'm going to be there with you through the end. Whenever my friend has lost her job, I'm going to be there with you until the end. Yeah. And so I have learned that I will do a hard thing because that relationship matters to me that much.
Yeah. What greater love is there than for a man to lay down his life for a friend?
For a friend.
They're very lucky to have you, Carley.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And thank you for having me in your life. I have enjoyed our conversation. Haven't y'all enjoyed this? Yeah. This was like good. This was good. Thank you for joining us. We are getting ready to take a quick break, but right after the break, we're going to dive deeper into relationships, and you're getting ready to learn how we can actually protect those that we love the most. Thank you, and we'll be right back.
Bright lights, good vibes.